Hey, what's going on? Beautiful, wonderful, charming, intelligent, dapper, young dapper Dan ass individuals out there. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Welcome to Badwolf Unrestricted, where we get down to the jammy jam of things. All right. No holds barred, unrestricted, other than what'll get me locked up. So I got to keep a little tiny shred of resistance. Remember, resistance is futile. So let's get into it. So as always, guys, no, though you don't have to buy them for me or anything like that. Get yourself a copper cup. All right. Put some water in there, let it sit for a couple hours, couple minutes, a day, whatever you can allow it to do. And then drink from it. There are tons of great beneficial properties when it comes to drinking out of copper. This is one of the reasons why they got rid of the copper lines in the houses. It became the most cheap material became expensive when they started seeing the health benefits of it. But keep lemon juice, anything acidic, baking soda, ketchup, anything like that, do not put it in here. You can use it to clean it out if it starts to get a little green. Other than that, just wash it normal by hand or in your dishwasher. It'll be totally fine. All right. So stay away from that. All right. And if it does turn green, clean it out with ketchup or whatever else, and then wash it and then rewash it, and it'll be fine. All right. But anyway, let's get to the point of this video. So in the comments section on my Wii channel here, um, somebody had mentioned making a part two to the real cost of things. All right. So I forgot how much stuff I've learned at times. So when the person said that in the comments, and I do see almost all of your comments, guys, almost all of them. Not going to lie and say all of them, but I try to see them. If something stands out, I try to read it or put a thumbs up. So if I seen it, I'll thumb, I'll thumb it. I'll try to put a thumbs up to make sure you guys know that I at least seen it. All right. I may or may not make a video on it. So in this particular case, that's exactly what happened. So this person was like, "Hey, make it part two." So I was like, all right. So part two. Let's talk about cars. Okay. So having worked in the car industry and worked at a car dealership, sold cars new and used, was in the back, all that good jazz, got to see their documents and whatever else. I won't put the exact name on which ones I've worked for. I think even one of them is actually, yeah, one of them's gone. Two of them are gone. And I think the third one is actually, nope, third one is still around. All right. So I've sold old people cars like Buick and whatever else, and I've sold fast, cars, whatever. Man, for a long time I had to hustle. I mean, for real, I was doing, you name it, I probably did it, sold it, whatever else at times because that's what I had to do to make sure ends meet, make sure my kid was fed, which is still where I'm at. Even YouTube, this is a hustle. All right. Got to make that money. Ain't shit funny. Go ahead, honey. So, in working and experiencing all that, I was able to see some of the inner back office financials on it. And I'm going to give you guys the short version of all of the stuff, but it goes like this. So, the manufacturer themselves generally buy their parts from other places, but they buy them on such large volume that they get a good deal because the company can say, well, we can bank that you guys are going to buy these different parts, so we'll give you the best rate we can. All right. So the manufacturer who actually makes the car buys their parts from other suppliers, brings them in, then they custom some of their own things and whatever else, but then they assemble it. Long story short, they're paying pennies on the dollars for those parts. A part that in the junkyard probably cost you, say even 20, 30, or $50 or $100 for it, but it's literally most of them are less than $1. Okay, because the manufacturer, they're like, look, I'm not going to pay you $20 full retail. I need wholesale pricing. Okay, wholesale is generally where you're going to get a sale on it because you're buying a whole lot. That's how I like to look at it. Retail is, or manufacturer suggested retail price is what the rubes should be paying when it's all done and said. So they're charging wholesale prices, they're receiving it. So a car all put together, all the pieces and whatever else is probably about five. I've seen between, well, lower than this, but we'll just say about 46, 48 to $5,000 is the complete cost of almost every major car out there. Not high end, it goes up a little bit, not much. Um, but so $5,000 is what it costs to produce a car. But then you're like, well, yeah, but why are they then charging? We'll just say like a 20 or $30,000 car. We'll work with those numbers, right? Still yet. Still looking at about 5 grand. But what happens is because they have to pay the people to repair the AI, the people who do the custom things, certain people have to pull the parts off, electricity, the benefits and privileges and the whatever that the human get. That's one of the reasons why they want to switch a lot of this over to AI, but you're still going to need some people to update the programs, make the programs, make sure they run right. And I've done all these jobs before. All right. Like I literally used to do PLC, programmable logic circuits, where you can program the computers, write programs. I've done that, all that kind of stuff. So you have to pay those people. So that's when the cost then jumps to sell it from that manufacturer to a dealership. We'll just go with a new dealership and we'll say that they have some used cars. Okay. So the dealership then says, well, we want to buy the new models. So the manufacturer goes, well, with everything we had to pay for the car, blah, 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 yeah, we'll sell it to you for about 23,000, 25,000. Okay. You can even say 20. We'll say 20, fine, 20. So you're like, well, then that means that the manufacturer made like 15 grand. No, they probably made about 10, roughly. Okay, somewhere in there, because remember, the other cost, they had to just pay for the parts. Then they got to pay for the people. So after everything is done and said, about another five is going to go towards uh, normal costs. Then you got the little soft stuff like your taxes and your shipping and fuel and whatever else. So when they sell it to other place for the 20,000, they're really probably only making, $2,000 or $3,000 for the car. All right. After everything is done and said and whatever else. I know, right? Not exactly what you thought it would be. So they then sold it. So they got their 3 grand, depending on the car, the make, model, year, et cetera, whatever else, and the parts. So it's going to ebb and flow, but you're getting an understanding of what it really costs. From there, the dealership gets the car. They paid so we're going to base it off of 20,000. They paid 20,000. Now the manufacturer puts a MSRP. They're saying you should only sell this car up to 22 to 23,000, and so that's on the sticker. So the sticker says no more than say 24,000. That's a pretty decent chunk of change in there. And especially in the old days, they would get that all day, making two, three, four, $5,000 off that car. So they paid 20 for it. The sticker says 24. From there, they try to add in tax, title, insurance, extra insurance, and whatever else. So then it's all hidden in the numbers. So you want to always look at the MSRP all the way down and take off all the things you don't need. Most people don't know that you can do that. Nope, don't need that, not paying for that. And if you're clever, you'll go over to Badwolf Unincorporated, my other YouTube channel, and figure out how to create a trust that's tax exempt and then not have to pay for a lot of these other things because then you can apply with that entity through the state for a tax exempt certificate for your religious entity and then get your $4,000 taken off the vehicle price, all on that. So join me on Badwolf Unincorporated. Share these videos. We're about to change the future, and I need y'all help. I'm showing y'all the door. I'm giving y'all the lighter. Y'all got to light the torches. I'm going to do my bit, and then I'm going to get off the scene. I'm going to go into retirement. But y'all got to make this happen, Captain. All right? So once that happens, if you don't go down through the MSRP and say, I don't need this, this, and this. Now, the problem is They don't want to then have to source out and find a vehicle that don't have these options you don't need on here, like a heated cigarette tray and a whatever else. And you tell them, nope, I want this model, this year. I want the heated seats, but I don't want the this and I don't want that. Now what happens is they go, oh, crap. We're not going to be able to really. They'll try to say, well, then we have to find, source. It may take some weeks. Go, okay, well, another dealership has it. And they go, oh, okay, no, no, that's fine. You know what? We'll sell you this one with all that, but yeah, we'll just take off the price. I used to be a salesman selling cars, so I know this, and I used to be a manager. Push that shit. And I've bought them. So what can you do for me? So I've seen the whole gamut. All right. So that's how you get them. Once you have them at that point in time, and you've haggled on the price, and maybe you've set up a private irrevocable trust or tax exempt entity that you don't have to do, but you can negotiate almost all that stuff down. All right. So once you're there, you're now going to understand or overstand that the dealership is going to always try to make more money, which is obvious and logical. That's how they do it. They really make a large chunk of their income, compensation, if you will. I guess income is the correct word in this position, on the extra features, insurance. Most of their warranties don't really cover almost anything. They try to get you on the warranty. When they can't get you on the warranty, because remember, if the warranty says 36,000 miles and whatever, that means that on a majority of the problems that are going to have with that car that aren't, they know what parts not to cover and they know which ones will cover. So the basic warranty will cover up to a certain point. Then if you get the all-inclusive, which can be good, but the all-inclusive, most of those parts, they know that they'll last just over 3 years or 36,000 miles. So if that's the case, me personally, you just take the standard, whatever it comes with, and if it's a good car, you're good. Sometimes the warranties do come, but generally I'd say 90% of the times the warranties that I got never covered all the stuff that went down because they may cover the Cadillac converter or a catalytic converter, but then all of a sudden it doesn't cover the welds in front of it, or the headers are not included, or the this or the that. They know what they're doing. It's all down to a science. All right. So that's how they make a chunk of their money. And then what they do is they'll say, well, we'll give you, depending on the dealership, 2 or 3 free oil changes or this or that. Now they don't care about the oil changes. They just because when they're going to tell their guys who look at your car to go, hey, find something wrong. And if you can't find anything wrong, now if it's a shady dealership, you're going to mysteriously have some problems in the next 30 days, maybe 40. Even if it's something small, like a gas cap, they unplugged and it's a little loose. And if you don't get gas, it'll pop a light. Now, guess where you're going to take it back to? The dealership. Oh, well, if it's covered, we got you. But if not, oh, while you're here, do you need an oil change? Yeah, I used to do oil changes too at certain companies, one company, and I used to be their manager there. So I know all the little tricks. And for those ladies out there who don't know, um, a lot of times what they do is they'll get you, they'll say, oh, you need a cabin filter. And the guy will pull out some old one that they've been keeping back there. And I hate to say it, so don't be mad, ladies, but I don't care. Y'all don't even know where to find the cabin filter. Some of y'all don't even have one, and most of you guys don't really even need it to be cleaned because the car is still going to just do what it does. Now, the filter for the engine, that one should be updated. But really, most of us, and guys too, are guilty of this, don't ever go out to say, well, show me where you pulled it from. Or you tell them, I want to see you, uh, you know, pull the cabin filter. Or you guys go out, you don't watch them. Now, not all of them are bad, but I'm saying I've seen it a lot more than you would think. And a lot of guys would be like, no, no, just put it back in there. I'll change it myself later. But the girls go, oh, well, if I need one, just do it. And then all of a sudden your bill's like $200 or whatever else from that $15 oil change. That's how they get you. because y'all don't pay no attention to see where it came from, that it was yours, and then they slide a new one in there. Now, if they're at least halfway good and shady, they'll some of them will just put the same one you had back in there. You won't even know the difference. But if you did buy the new one, they'll give you actually the new one. Rarely I've ever seen them put the bad one in. Okay. I don't think I've ever really seen that, but that's something they could do. Generally, what I've seen is they pull in and they have a spare one that's dirty, and most of y'all don't even know what size you're because they're not all the same size. So they'll pull out one that ain't even the right size. I'm not even gonna I'm not gonna I'm not gonna joke on that one right now. I'm not gonna nope, nope, not today, Satan. Nope, nope, nope. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. And y'all don't even realize that it's not the right size and just go, "Oh, okay, that's it? Huh. Yeah. Question them. Well, show me where that's stored at. I want to see you put it in. Some of you, oh, mm, nope, nope, not gonna joke on that one either. Nope, leave it alone. So that's how they get you. So generally, if you do have either ask the right questions or be prepared that you may be getting ripped off. So it's usually good to either have a guy friend or know what you're talking about, or use your phone and ask the Google or the AI or the chat, what is the proper filter size for my car? Put in the make, model, and whatever else, and see if it compares. That's how you get them. That's how you balance. That's how you have balance. That's all I'm here for. I'm not here for guys are better, girls are better, this, that, blue, red, left, right. I don't care about any of that. It's about the balance. Things have been in poor balance for a long time, and we need to get back on that. We need to have real men and real women, not adult-sized boys and adult-sized girls. But hey, be who you want to be at the end of the day. So it's all in the service and the services that they can provide that's how they get you on additional costs. It's where the money is made. So dealerships have a problem though now. Now that you can go on your phone at whatever one of these dealerships and type in the VIN and all that and ask what is the suggested price for this vehicle, whether new or used, and get an accurate within 2 or 3 grand, or what does the next dealership down the road have? The dealerships have had to cut back a lot. So a lot of dealerships are not making money like they used to, and the salesmen aren't making money like they used to. Matter of fact, one of the last jobs I had was a dealership before I went private and started doing this stuff. And they were promising 55 or $70,000. I think it was about $70,000 as a salesman for their job. Mind you, I'd been a manager for that shit before and I sold cars before. So when I went in there and I'm in a sales meeting, or not a sales meeting, but a multi-person interview for all the people applying for the job, and they were talking about kind of bringing me on, but also was a sales meeting. So I'm sitting there and I'm like looking at the numbers. I'm like, okay, so each person is doing about four cars a week, and this is what you're selling each car for. I was like, so you guys are really only making about $40,000, $45,000, and your top guy is making about 70. Everybody in the room was like, and they were like, can we talk to you privately? It's like, nah, I'm just saying. Oh, like this interview's over. Thank you for your guys' time, but you guys are not doing the numbers, but I appreciate you. Have a good day. And I left. It doesn't, that's how my brain works. I see right through most BS and scams and whatever else. I've been there, done that. So when you can do that, what these dealerships are doing is what we call the pants drop maneuver, showing them everything you got and hoping that it gets the sale. So cars, even at that dealership, they were only selling them between, and you were only making somewhere in between 250 and $500 a sale as a salesman. So, and they were selling probably 3 cars a salesman each, roughly. So it's just under $1,000 a week. You can do the math. Certain cars you could get more on, but we'll get to that. So what then ends up happening is that now out of that 4,000 roughly that the car dealer should have made, they're selling the cars not for less than that. So they're dropping back to mainly making only about $1,000 to $2,000 per car for the dealership, if even, if even. Then out of that, say we'll say what 2,500. All right, so the dealership's making $2,500 on the car. They now got to pay $500 or whatever, 250 to $500 out of that to the person who sold it because they now know that you can just look on your phone real quick and see what their competition is. So to be competitive, they're trying to stay right in there, which is right close to the MSRP. So now they have to push this other services and things to get you to bring them more money as a long time. So now they're starting to get wise again. When it was all corporate and hardcore, now they're trying to provide you with better service so that the word of mouth that they're a better dealership to go to, and they don't screw you over on the price of things or the oil changes or the air filters. That's how they're trying to get their money back. And now they have to do more volume and provide customer service. But let's talk about where the dealerships make the most money. So you're there and you're like, well, for that $4,000 you're trying to get me on, because now you know how to look at the sticker price and tell where they're at. I want to get rid of my old car. So they're like, ooh, ugh, God, I see why you want to get rid of that, but I'm sure it served you well. But yeah, it's time to get a new car. Oh my gosh, you're going to love the new one. Have a seat in that one. See how it feels. Well, how much can I get for the old car? Mm, we're going to have a hard time moving that one. We're gonna have to clean it up, and it needs oil and all this other stuff, and it's got some cracks and scratches on there. We'll give you uh, now remember that manufacturer suggested price had about 3 or 4 grand in there to play with. We'll give you best we could do is 1,000. What? Really? Yeah. Like, unless like, you could sell it somewhere else and get more money, we'd be glad to do that. Otherwise, best we could do here and now, take it off your hands. You ain't got to worry about the tax, title, or any of that kind of stuff. We'll take care of all that stuff. Some disposal fee. We got to put new tires on it. Now they've talked you down psychologically. So you're like, you know what? I'll take the 1,000. And they're not even, all they're doing is taking that out of the manufacturer's suggested price. So it didn't cost them anything. You just gave them basically a free car that they're willing to play with. The metrics fit. So now what they do is they put their guy on it. And for those of you guys who think that they really do this big whole shebangity bang bang when you're buying a used car, it's all checked out, 32-point inspection. It's not what's happening at all. I sold used cars. I seen it. I didn't know what I was learning and seeing at the time until I started learning and seeing at the time. And I definitely didn't have a YouTube channel, and I had to put food on my table. So it was what it was. Here's what they do. They get out a special wax, they wash it down, and they wax it so that it hides all the blemishes and scars and scratches and all that kind of stuff. They have all special goodies for that stuff that they too also pay wholesale price on it. Wax it up, clean it, vacuum it out, full detail. They got guys who do that. Young kids, they pay dick for money, they come and clean it all out, whatever. When they're not doing that, they're doing car porter stuff. Then they have the mechanic do a basic, quick overall inspection. Does it turn on? Is it throwing any codes? Put a little oil leak stop in the engine. The engine then goes in and clogs a leak. They spray it down, steam it down. He does a quick look over. Brakes are fine enough. Tire will last. This and that. And that is it. It is not this whole big point for point meter, everything, all the shebang like you think it is. It's better than what the last person knew about their car, but it is not a full all that stuff. It's not. Now they took it off your hands for allegedly 1,000, but now when you go back to the car lot, even a week later, you're going to see Bessie there, or they told another dealership, "Hey, we got a car in like this and this. You guys want it for mind you, they got it for 1,000." Now they're gonna say, "Well, hey, we'll sell it to you guys for 2, 3, 4, 5,000 to another dealership." You're like, "Yeah, yeah, we could probably move that. We'll take it off your hands." So that dealership just doubled their money, or tripled, or quadrupled. Now the other dealership will take it, look it over real quick, do a little light inspection. Now, either it's going to stay at the original one you sold it to, or they're going to move it to another one, or to another location, or to one of their used lot facilities, because they don't want to have any of that old cruddy stuff around their new stuff. Now, all said and done, that $1,000 car you just gave them is at another lot, or it's on the same lot. Either way, guess what the new price is? 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, because that's the average price for that car being sold on the lot. That's where they make their money. Now, if you have a car that's like like one of my old ones, like an 84 grand damn first car thing I ever had, right? Dad gave it to me. It was okay, did me right, but it was POS. So for me, I think they got me for like 600. They're like, oh, bro, they're like, it's damaged, it's scratched up, 600. Well, guess what they do? They either find a dealership that specializes in selling that type of car, and then they double the price, and it starts all over again. That dealership then goes out and buys a new fender or whatever else for their cost, which is like a couple $100, and your old $600 shebang bang beater is out there for about 5 grand. Or they sell it to the junkyard. Hey, you guys want this? Like, well, what do you got? 84 grand damn. We'll give you how much would you give me for it? Well, what'd you pay? 1,000. We'll take nothing less than 2,500. Sold. Because guess what? All the parts in there, when you break the car down into parts, they're going to get that for one windshield. And at the end of the day, that doesn't do it. They're going to strip it down, pull all the metal, crunch it up, and then they're going to sell it for steel or aluminum or whatever the frame is out of it, and get more than that $600. Y'all had enough? Y'all had enough? Now, mind you, I don't know the costs on all of it. I'd have to do research on certain other things, but you get the premise. Man, when I was learning all this stuff over the years, so I'm going to bring you guys on this channel nearly all of the things that I've learned on this side. Now, remember, Black Site 32's got a lot of my videos and files. JamesCLovett.com has a lot of the living in the private videos. But on Badwolf Unincorporated, which is where how I teach you guys to live in the private, that's when I go through the legal, law, your citizenship, your nationality. Some of y'all don't even know that, like if you're born in Florida, you're Floridian. Well, that actually is a legal standing, which makes you tax exempt in most things, any private national. But by law, you also have a title known as a U.S. citizen, which is you being a 14th Amendment person and makes you taxable. Don't believe me? Look up GPO Style Manual, Section 5.23. Look under nationalities. Don't believe me? Go to Cornell Law EDU, do a Google search, and then pull down code 8 U.S.C. 1401 or 8 U.S.C. 1408, and look what you'll discover there. You have a private side and a public side, one taxable and one tax exempt. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys. This is the Bad Wolf. Take care. I got some more fire information coming for you guys, and we're going to cover everything from Diddy to 50 and all the rest of that stuff because this is, like I said, this is my outlet. So I'm going to let you all know the truth as somebody who's, I won't say been everywhere and done that, but been a lot of places, seen a lot of faces. So I got stuff to tell you guys. Hey, once again, you all like entertainment, so that's what this channel is all about. So help me to grow it. Let's keep it G, keep it real. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.